Everyone shows you the ACCA syllabus as a boring list of 13 papers. Just another set of exams to memorize, pass, and forget. But let's be brutally honest, that's the wrong way to look at it. The truth is, your success in ACCA isn't about surviving exams. It's about how this roadmap quietly transforms you from a regular student into someone who can sit in the boardroom, make billion-dollar decisions, and eventually wear the title of CFO. Think about it. Every global CFO you've seen didn't just wake up one morning with power. They went through layers of training, obstacles, and hidden lessons that most students don't even realize they're learning. That's exactly what the ACCA syllabus is. Not a list, a transformation. Today, I'm giving you not just the syllabus. I'm giving you the real journey, the hidden traps, the secret connections no one tells you, and the truth about how these papers aren't just exams, they're weapons for your career. Now picture this: a first-year student sits in a lecture hall, overwhelmed by terms like financial reporting and audit. Fast forward a few years, that same student walks into a multinational's headquarters, armed with skills that can shape company policy, detect fraud, and manage global investments. And then picture that same person a decade later, sitting across the boardroom table, holding the power to sign off strategies that affect millions of lives. That's the real journey the ACCA syllabus builds. So if you're only here for exam tips, you're already losing. But if you want to understand why this syllabus exists, why it's structured this way, and how it can shape your career far beyond the exams, then stay with me. Because this is the explanation you've never heard before. The ACCA syllabus has 3 main stages. But instead of just calling them applied knowledge, applied skills, and strategic professional, I want you to see them differently. Applied knowledge is like learning the grammar of accounting. Imagine you're trying to speak a new language. Before you write poetry, you need to know verbs, nouns, and basic structure. That's what this stage gives you. Then comes applied skills. This isn't just about grammar anymore. This is your survival kit in the business jungle. It teaches you the tricks, techniques, and tools that keep companies alive in real markets. And then finally, the strategic professional level. That's your final battlefield. This is where ACCA stops treating you like a student and starts testing if you can think like a leader. Like a strategist, like someone who can sit next to CEOs and challenge their decisions. Let's make this even more real. In applied knowledge, you have 3 papers: business and technology, management accounting, and financial accounting. At first glance, these seem basic, but let's connect them to the real world. Business and technology isn't just theory. It's literally about why businesses succeed or collapse. Think about Enron, which fell because of governance failures. Or Uber, which survived because of bold leadership and risk-taking. This paper is showing you those fundamentals. Management accounting is next. You might think of it as just numbers and budgets, but it's actually about how CEOs decide prices, costs, and strategy. Tesla, for example, doesn't just cut prices randomly. Every decision is based on management accounting principles. And financial accounting? That's the language of business. When Apple presents its balance sheet, that's what investors read before putting in billions. If you don't speak this language, you'll always be an outsider. I once knew a student named Hira. She breezed through BT because she thought it was just theory. She memorized enough to pass. But 2 years later, when she reached strategic business leader, she realized she had no foundation in governance and decision-making. She had to relearn concepts she ignored at the beginning. That's the hidden trap of the syllabus. Every paper connects to something bigger later. The students who realize this early move faster. The ones who don't, they get stuck. Now, applied skills. This is where things start getting intense. You've got law, performance management, taxation, financial reporting, audit and assurance, and financial management. But again, don't think of these as exams. Think of them as business superpowers. Law, for example, isn't just about memorizing statutes. It's how Jeff Bezos structures Amazon to protect it legally across dozens of countries. Performance management? That's how Netflix designs subscription packages to balance cost, profit, and customer satisfaction. Taxation? Google literally shifts profits across borders to minimize tax, and the techniques you study here are the same ones their tax strategists use. Financial reporting is another level. Think about Tesla's financial statements. They confuse analysts because of creative accounting, but ACCA trains you to cut through that noise. Audit and assurance? Remember the Wirecard scandal? Billions were lost because auditors missed red flags. ACCA teaches you how not to be that auditor. And financial management. This one's a gem. This is literally how Warren Buffett decides where to invest. It's not just formulas, it's mindset. A student I knew, Ali, struggled with performance management. He hated variance analysis, standard costing, all the nitty-gritty. But after graduation, he landed at a telecom company. His very first project? Designing a new pricing model for data packages. Suddenly, the formulas clicked. He realized he wasn't just solving exam questions anymore. He was shaping business strategy. That's when it hits you. Every boring paper has a hidden superpower waiting to be unlocked in the real world. And then comes the big boss stage, strategic professional. This is where ACCA stops holding your hand. Strategic business leader, strategic business reporting, and the options: advanced financial management, advanced performance management, advanced taxation, and advanced audit and assurance. Let's strip away the academic labels. Strategic business leader is literally how Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft, makes strategy calls that redefine entire industries. Strategic business reporting? That's why Elon Musk constantly fights regulators over how Tesla presents its financials. Advanced financial management? That's investment at Amazon scale. You're not deciding on a $10,000 project, you're evaluating billion-dollar opportunities. Advanced performance management? That's why Netflix cancels shows despite massive fan love, because the data says otherwise. Advanced taxation? That's how multinationals save billions legally. And advanced audit? That's the audit that could have stopped Enron. Here's another student story. Sarah was brilliant at memorization. She could repeat standards word for word. But when she hit strategic business leader, she failed twice. Why? Because this paper isn't about memory. It's about thinking like a CFO. She realized too late that ACCA doesn't just test if you know the rules. It tests if you can apply them when the rules break down. That's why some students with average grades earlier can suddenly shine here, because they've been thinking like professionals, not students. There are 3 truths about the ACCA syllabus that no one tells you. First, passing isn't enough. The connections matter more than the individual passes. For example, if you understand financial accounting deeply, you'll breeze through financial reporting and strategic reporting. But if you just scrape through, you'll keep hitting walls. Second, real-world mindset always wins. Examiners aren't testing memory. They're testing if you can apply principles to new situations. And third, most students underestimate business and technology or financial accounting because they look easy. Later, at the professional level, they regret not mastering them. I'll give you a concrete example. Fahad was a straight-A student. He underestimated BT, barely passed. Years later, when he attempted SBL, his lack of governance foundation showed. He failed twice, wasting 2 years. Meanwhile, another student, Aisha, mastered BT early. She understood governance, ethics, and strategy deeply. She sailed through SBL on her first attempt. That's the difference between passing and mastering. So here's what you do next. Subscribe to Education Bench because this video is just the start of our 2025 ACCA series. In the next video, I'll break down financial accounting in a way no textbook dares to, with real-world balance sheets from Apple, Amazon, and Tesla. You don't want to miss it. Because ACCA isn't just exams. It's your ticket from student to global CFO.